idea what your block is? That block is dated. Imagine the kid.
Yeah, there's a cone. There'll be a cone on the block. There'll be a hedge mount on the roof, but go by the block, don't go by the head.
Where's the block?
Or small block strip on top of it. You don't know. Call someone, right? Call someone, right?
Okay. All right, hey, so join us. We're going to start class on 2 minutes late. I thought I had it figured out, but just the thing. Right. And then if I can have it. Sit a while. Sit up. Sit a while.
Since they feel me right. Good Zoom.
All right, today, let's continue on with some of those ladder drills to get used to for the warm up. And then we're gonna work a little bit on some kicks. That's why I wanted to do that with the side kick. So the side kicks are, those are always the worst ones that we have. And then at the end, we'll do maybe a couple things at the kata. Everybody here is pretty good on it, you know. So I'll just review it quickly, show it upside down, go down, and then the second half of it. So I'm gonna squeeze, I can't squeeze all that in. Because, yeah, it's one of those, you have to, you know, everybody's doing good. So you have to move on to some of those other techniques that we do. But I like the warm up because that's going to help, that helps everybody. These things, it's actually a good warm up. Like you get sweaty and you get a little tired.
Where's Nani to help?
I will complain. And I didn't have time. She was here. I didn't have time to get her ready to you know, feed her, walk her, all that stuff, you know. Take this side. Yeah. Look this way. Disregard is that not something I was like, and I didn't think about that. So I didn't have time to like do all the tape on it. I don't do well when I'm rushed. Sorry, guys. I don't do very well.
Just leave it there.
Sure.
No, I need.
Actually, that works.
No,
That actually works pretty good.
I know. This is what happens when I'm rushed.
I'm down. You got a half hour in between classes.
Because I'd like to get here by 8:39. Mentally, you know, get it. I don't do well.
Anyone says. Time.
Hold up, people at home. Everything came down. Can someone hand me those scissors on top over there? No, over here. Go over here. On the little red, little red thing right here. It's the only way I could get the little things off. All right, give me a second, people at home. I'm sorry. Overslept today by accident. Now everybody's suffering. All right, let's try it again. All right, that should do it. Make sure we're good.
Like Perry. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to give Mr. Bedard to be like, I'm trying to work out a system, especially right now. Social distancing before now, even though I don't say it. People are pretty
Last night I was.
All right.
He got it.
I understand. I understand why. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's what it was. All right, first one, guys. Again, if you're at home, I mentioned this last week. Throw some pillows. You can do it. Just go up and down the room. If you got some tape, you can put little tape. Yeah, you can put shoes. Just enough to make spaces. And again, if you don't have anything at home, just do what you can as far as without it and pretend. All we want to do is the double hops, all the way in, just all the way back down. And then come back around and we'll do it again. Go. We're going to try to do each one twice. That's the easy one. Home, back home back. All right. The next one is going to be the out and the in. Out, in, all the way down. Go. Actually, wait. You guys wait and get to the end. Do it backwards. Come on. And then you go backwards. I know, right? Takes a while. These little things take a lot out of you. It's a little harder, right? Yeah. It's okay to look down, look where you're going. It's a little harder. Oh man, that kills you. I like these little warm-ups. You don't think that initially you're like, oh yeah, what's the deal? No, I know. They take a lot out of you. And I think sometimes they're a little more useful. You know, just running around. And they say, oh, I know we like to do basics up and down. But I saw that, I think Dojo Y needed it. So. These are pretty good, especially for feet. You know, the guys with feet, you know, they have the bigger feet. Like I said, it's funny when Nico does it. His foot's like the whole damn thing. How is he doing? He's doing it. I think he just finished up his welding job. He wants to, he's just tired, and then nobody bumps the face. It's just him. It's hard to get like a routine. And they keep it open here because they like to, you know, because there's don't want any excuse. We'll try it. All right, from here. From here. See it? Yeah. All the way down. Knees up high on knees if you can, on each and every one. Yeah, there you go. It's hard.
Coordination, it's hard.
We're in feet shoes all day. So your muscles in the bottom of your feet, at your feet, very important. Very bad. I feel barefoot a lot, and I don't now because that's why usually in the summertime all you see is flat. I feel barefoot all the time, but I can't now because after a day I'm like, all right, next one. We're gonna a little bit different now. It's gonna be actually. I'm gonna go back to this one. I want you to have one foot in square, one foot in another square, hands up. like you're sparring, and just a hop. Now, it's 2 feet, same time, keep the distance. Get to the end, come back, and go. So, spread your feet out a little bit, get a little lower, keep your center of gravity down. A little bit of weight on that back leg a little bit. There we go, got a little back, have fun with that. It's hard, right? Yep. It's okay, keep going. Oh. Like guys, you get like super, super tired of these. Try as much as you can. It's pretty good. That's really good. All right, Mr. Neal, have fun with that. No, it's pretty good, honey. We forget, and you won't hear though. So, Mr. Neal, what? Same. Thank you, Sensei Neal. Same time. So not. It's same time. It's hard to get our feet used to that movement when you're sparring. Feet are apart. You have to go in, come out. Try to get on the balls of your feet. Keep your heels up if you can. Sink down a little bit. Weight on that back leg. That's why we're doing this. It's a new one. There you go. All right, Mr. Meyer, let's see it. Sink down, hands up. Sink down. There you go. Nice. Yeah, he's like professionally fit. Like they have to professionally fit. He runs like out of people with like 1,000 pounds of gear.
And he's about half our age.
Now, along the same line. Yes, I don't know. She had two shoulder replacements. So I don't know. Oh, the JV. All right, so now hands up. Same thing, but this time, 1, 2, back. See it? 1, 2, back. All the way down. And just come around like this. There you go. Take your time if you need to. She's been doing these better than a lot of the brown belts did when I watched them. That's good. Brown belts are looking rough. There you go. Keep the heels off the ground. Lean a little bit back on that back leg a little bit. Yeah, that's right. Feel it? You don't put a lot of weight and all the time on that front leg because that's what gets swept. At times you do, obviously, but for the most part, when you're bouncing, you can really keep the neck going. Yeah, I prefer Mr. Myers. I see how he is.
Let's get there.
Nice. All right, it's time. That was just a warm-up. Everyone warmed up?
Yeah.
Hope you're warming at home. We're going to grab some water, and then we're going to get ready for the next portion of the class. And watch how I put this stuff away as I use it. I wish other people would remember that.
We don't know what that is. They're not very good at that, are we, Jackson?
I'm not talking about Jackson.
I know, but
Although he's got pretty good at it. I think I've been bitching at the kids so much about it, the kids actually kind of remind him of themselves.
whenever Jackson and I can't find something, it's like, oh, I better take it around, put it away. That's how we can find it.
Go look where it's supposed to be.
I get mad because I'll put stuff where it's supposed to be, and then I know when someone moved it, and I'm like, hey, and I'll start freaking out like, and you want to see me go from 0 to 60? Let me be looking for something that I know I put somewhere. And that's what I moved. And I think it's a family trait. My Aunt Linda was the same way. I remember when I was
don't know
young.
my desk, but I know what's in the pile. Don't mess up my pile.
You put some away.
I remember when I was young, my Aunt Linda, man, if she couldn't put her car keys in the window somewhere, you know, she would go gas it. I'm the same way. Like I'm good. The next thing you know, if I can't find something I know I put somewhere. Oh man. And then that's the time we gotta avoid you because you know, because then if I look at you, if I make eye contact, I'm gonna yell at you about something. And I'm just so mad. I know it's a bad trait.
If I lose something,
And then I find it. And then I find it.
You don't want to.
Yeah, I do too. And then I find it, and then I'm calm like, oh, and you. So then I'm okay. And then everybody around
That
me
was worked
is
out.
like traumatized or mad now because I just yelled at him for any little thing for breathing.
I let my kids.
I know it. All right, so here's the next thing. Today, we are going to work on our side kick.
Yay.
Now, we're going to use this bag so that we have something to hold and so that you peoples at home can benefit. If you're at home, use a chair, use a wall, a ledge, something like that. So I'm going to want the adults, you're going to find one side, one, two, three, and put your hand on it. That's what you're going to use to balance. Okay, here's how it's going to go. Yeah, because you go into the side. You know? So I'm not kicking this way. I'm coming up this way. All right. So I need you to put your hand on the wall or whatever chair. You're going to have your right leg in front right now. So if your right hand, your right leg. We're going to switch sides, so it doesn't matter. We're going to do the other side too. There's going to be a count, and here's the count. One is going to be lift up. You got to lift that leg up high. Okay? It's okay initially for you to even grab it like this. So you know. So see how high that leg is? 2, you're going to cock that hip a little bit so it sticks out just a little bit. 3, you're going to push out 1, and look how my leg is. Now it's okay for you to hold your leg pants and keep it up if you need. My toes are pointed down, my femur's down, is turned over, and my base foot is pointing in the direction of my hand. 4, comes back, unfolds. 5, goes down. And just go forward. So 5 is just come down, right down. So that's the count. Okay? It's gonna, so you can spread out a little more if you want to. It's gonna work your hip flexors, maybe your side. Okay? We're gonna do like initially, let's do 5 on that count, on each count. Let's do 5 times doing count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll do 5 times when you come up and out, hold it, and then the next count will be that. So let's do 5 on this one. So it's lift up the knee. Knee, cock it. Now when you push out is when that pivots, boom, is when you pivot that base foot when you push out. Son. There you go, hold it out. Turn your toes down. There you go. If you need to, you can hold your pants leg to keep it because we want the position to be firm. Pivot your foot all the way to the back. Yeah, there you go. And cheek, pull it back, uncurl, and go and put it behind you. Yeah, there it is. It's behind. You can see that? That's 1 count. Okay. It's knee, sign, push out. Cheek, pull it back, uncurl it, go, put it down. Put it down behind you. Make sure stance, Mr. Neal. Have a decent sparring stance. Remember, it's very important. And I probably should push this back. Let's push this back. Just a little bit so you can see. Okay, try it. All right. It's very important when you're doing it that your base foot, so your base foot pushes, boom, when you push out, not forward. Okay, ready? Hit, knee, side, cheek, uncurl it, uncurl it. We did uncurl it once. Go, put it back behind it. In stance, make sure, don't pivot this foot here. So you're going up, and you're pivoting here. It doesn't pivot, you just pop that hip a little bit. It doesn't pivot until boom, you push out. Same time. That's when it locks out. It actually more locks out. And the pivot is the result. Okay, that's 3. Itch, knee, side, push out, boom. Nice. G, pull it back. Go. One more. Go. Good, that's 5. Now, itch goes all the way up into the kick. So I'm going to count itch. You're going to come 1, boom. You're going to hold it. See how I'm holding up. Because I'm wearing shoes and I can't grip the floor very good. And if, like I said, if you need to, hold the pants like that. I want your butt muscles to get used to this. It needs to be at least waist high. And then knee is up, back, and then back down. All one. So I'm going to let it sit up there for a minute so you can start feeling that hip, the hip and the side. Etch. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Lock that leg out. Knee, pull it back, all the way down. Very nice. That's 1. Etch. I know it's tough, right? You're at home, hold it, even though I'm not looking at you. Knee. Etch. Knee. Etch. Knee. Next would be 5. I think that's 5. I lost count. I think it was close. It was close. It was close. Next 5, all one count. Whole thing. In, up, back, boom, back down. And etch. Stick it, Mr. Myers. So don't just pull it out. So you don't want to just pull it out there, you know, from here and go and then pull it back. It's got to be the whole thing. You got to lock that out. Boom. And then pull it back. Everything's got to lock out. Toes pointed down, femur turned over. I use a trick of lifting my big toe. So it blades my foot. It's something I learned years ago. Let's see if you guys can see it. I'll take my shoes off. It's something I learned years ago. And what it does is, and I was sitting in front of the TV. Let's see if you can see me. And I would just play with my big toe like that, lifting it up. So I lift it up, put it down, lift it up, pull it down. And what that does is, oh, when you're here, yeah, this is what it does is it forces, it's a dorsal flex, and then when it shoots out, because it's lifted up, for some reason it blades that foot a little better, and it forces that femur all the way over. We don't really push it here. It's a little trick I used to do, and learned from my old dojo. And like I said, I was just sitting practicing. That, and I would have to practice my front foot one because this little pick toe that's there. So pick the toe up if you can. Really, what you do is you're picking the toe up and pushing those other toes down. You don't have control of your feet as much like that. Sorry. All right, that was 2, right? Let's try it again. All the way, stick it and bring it back. Etch. There you go. Use that for balance right now. We're going to do that later. Come on. Knee. Use it for balance right now. So you can have your good form. Sun. G. Go. And that's it for that leg. Now we get to go through the whole grueling process over again with the other leg. So now switch, turn directions. So if you had your right hand on a wall or a chair, we had it on the bag, you're going to switch it to your left hand. Okay? So the left hand's going to be on, and the right foot's going to be back. Okay? Let's start it over. Inch is lift up, knee is pocket, san is push out, chi is pull it all back in and uncurl it. That's 4. 5 is put it back down. Okay? All right, here we go. Let's try it. Etch. Knee. Side. Push. There you go. Yeah, you got to do it first, right? Chi. Go. Does this help with the toe? It helps, right? Like for some reason, it just forces the whole foot to turn over because you're not only lifting that toe, you're pushing those the other toes down and just forcing it all to turn. I know it seems silly, but a lot of times, you know, we don't do it, and the kids' feet are, it's there, but the foot is here, they have it quiet, you know, because then what's going to happen is, if you don't completely lock this out, someone's going to come running at you, and you're going to try to kick them, and you're just going to crunch up and fall. But when you lock it out, boom, it stops there, and then that's done. Which if you're a Kotek person, works. It works tremendously. It's one of those ones they use at the end when someone's running at you and they've lost all their mind because they're trying to win and they're losing. They come running at you, boom, and then they stop. All right, ready? And it's me. Son. Yeah, goodness. G. Go. Put it behind. There you go. It's me. Son. G. Go. It's me. Son. G. Go. Last one for this one. It's me. Son. G. Go. Awesome. All right, I didn't leave it sitting out there that long this time because I think you guys are looking good. Now, 2 counts, and this one I will leave it sitting out. Itch, just come up and out. Knee, bring it back in and down. Here we go. Itch. There you go. Try to keep that foot, turn that femur over. Ah, there you go. Try to make sure it's at least waist high if you can. You guys are looking good. Knee, bring it all the way back and down. Itch. Here. That area. Knee. You're going like this, or like it should be pulled in, out. See the difference? This versus this. So you're lifting up here, that I did it pulled in. A little different. Feel that? Okay, ready? Catch!
Yes.
Okay, hold it, hold it, hold it. If you need to, pull that pants leg if you need to. Just put that leg up there. Knee. Itch. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Almost there. There you go. Knee. Yeah, you got like massive legs, so I'm sure. Get in good stance, Mr. Nino. Let's get it. Make sure you guys stay in good stance. Itch. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Adjust that, adjust your leg. Knee. And that's all, that's 5.
Okay. Breathing question.
Mm-hmm.
I hold my breath through the whole thing.
Yeah, you should.
I know.
Okay, the breathing is just like anything. When we punch, before we punch, because you asked about breathing, I'm holding my breath, because you're focusing. Just like when we punch, it's in, and then it punch out as I breathe out as I punch. It's the same thing. So really, it's coming up. I'm breathing before I come in, and then push out on the thing. If you're gonna break it down really low, I've actually never thought about it. If you break it down really, really good, you're gonna be breathing like in all those little steps that we're doing. It's gonna breathe in 1, 2, and then you're gonna breathe out as you push out. Here. I've never actually thought about it because I don't think about breathing on that. I don't know why. That's a good question. So you always want to breathe out, boom, as the technique works, as the technique is executed. Okay? So just like you're not going to breathe in when you punch, you're not going to breathe in as you're kicking the foot actually out. And then when you're doing it in real time, just going to try to do it here in real time in a minute. You sort of don't think about it. But breathing does happen, boom, on the actual execution. Because that's when everything's got to tighten up, it's slow, and then you're going to breathe that. That's actually a really good question. Never thought about it. I think there was a breathing on everything, but I just never thought about that one. Yeah, so that's actually a very good question. All right, all 1 count now. Same leg we're doing. Here we go. Let's see it, whole thing. So you'd be breathing, bah, and then push out. So as you're moving, and push out. Ready? X. So don't be so cognizant of it, I guess. Otherwise, you're gonna hyperventilate. But that's the technical. Technically, that's how you're gonna breathe. But yeah, I gotta think. Yeah, I gotta think about the exact timing of things I never thought about. one of those techniques you still think about. Ready? Knee. Yeah, up. That's it. Done. And I'm usually a proponent of proper breathing. Number 5. Chi. Excellent. Go. Use the back, please, Mr. Meyer. No showing up. One more. And time. Very nice. And right? All right, take a couple minutes, get some water, let's come back. I am on schedule. That's how I do it. It's easier with the water to move, but we're scared of the brakes or anything's gonna fly. So. All right, we're gonna use this side kick now in Kihon. When you do the Kihon, you want to make sure that initially you start from here. Kamate, you start from here, and then you're going. When I count, you're going to come up. Now, there's a couple ways to do it. You can either put your feet together, or I think it goes behind. Go behind, and then come out and kick. Okay, and then from there, you're like this the whole time, sideways. Okay, so you're like this. So then you come up, boom, kick, bring it back down. Okay. Then there's the other way, which that's the one we're doing right now. The next way will then be going off that back leg, boom, and then do it, and then place it down. Be aware that when you kick, boom, you have to bring it all the way back, and that knee stays up. Don't drop that knee when you come back. Okay, ready? Right up. Okay. Hey. All right, out the front leg. Etch. There you go. It's okay. Keep trying. And then you step forward. There you go. So now you're here. And it's just going to go forward each time. Knee. You're pivoting before you kick. So hand like this. Top. And you're staying sideways, Mr. Neal. Not Mr. Neal, Mr. Meyer. And make sure so you're still staying sideways. See, this is actually sideways. And make sure you lock it out. So you're kicking it, boom, but you're not locking it out. Let it stick out there for like a second or two, and then bring it back. Better to do it longer like that now, to get your body used to the habit of actually locking out. Chi. That's not bad. Arm here. If it needs a help, sometimes you can point in the direction that you got to kick, so your foot goes that direction. Sun. And you try to do all the way down. It's okay. Chi. You should have seen the black belts when we first started having to work on that, because the psychic's not one that we normally work on. A few years ago, oh my gosh! But by the end of the year, my Saturday class is beautiful psychics, because this is the frequent one we do in Chicago. So when I do my competitive classes, I make sure we do the Kihon that they would do in Chicago. Chi. Oh, not bad. That's not bad. But now you're playing that habit of not hitting that foot as you lock out. That's okay. So but you're almost there. Boom. It's like a wind up. It's like boom, and then it winds up. Go. Yeah, you're there. Look where you're going. And when I say Maru, just face the other, just turn your hands the other way. Maru. All right. It's me. Ah, that one's like better. Sun. Nice. That one's your better leg too, right? Chi. We all got one. Go. Oh, that's your better leg too, isn't it? Yeah, that's high, everybody. Go. After we worked on this forever, with the kids, Bella went to go test one time, and man, I tell you, out of all the kids, all the people testing, she had like the best sidekicks, And Maru, because we were always, and Yame, check the line, we're gonna do it one more time. Because we were working. When she started the Saturday class initially, it was really bad, And it's just a kid. And now the kids does the psychic, it's like.
Yeah, she did that last Saturday.
Oh, did you see? Yeah. So she's like, boom, and like I said, if If you're at home struggling, it takes time. We'll try to keep doing these types of things every other week, every week. I'm doing this now, the initial going over in excruciating detail, because this should be added to our keyhole exercise. So on a Saturday when I come in, we do it. I do keyhole exercises with it. That way I know that you actually know how to do it. I can't yell at you for a cruddy sidekick if I didn't show you how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, and traditionally in the dojo for us, it's been a hard, sidekicks haven't really been that great over the last few years. Like I said, they've gotten better because I focused on my Saturday classes. So by the time you get to me, they're brown belt, and you got to start the cycle. You know, but usually we have to start earlier. It's just hard to cover everything, you know? When you do everything, it's hard to cover basics, keyhole, kicks, blah, 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 and then combine that with the competitions. Which is why I'm actually really happy we have to do it. I saved a bunch of money this year, not going to competitions. And I'm not lost at all with what to do in class. I still treat it like that, you know? But sometimes highly competitive dojos, the sensei and the students get lost or think there's no point in coming because we're not going to compete. And it's a fine line in karate with that. It really is a fine line. Because the days of the days of like, oh, we just went to karate, just do it, are sort of hard to find now. It's very hard to get people. That you have some schools that do it. They never go out, and they just do everything there. And yeah, kids love going, but they're belt driven. So what does that mean? I'm giving a lecture, I know, but they're belt driven because now every 2 months, every month they're getting a new belt. You got the leadership pads. They're charging extra money. Where the dojos are just like making money, you know. And then the technique sucks. So you see them with like little black belts, and they look worse than our like yellow belts, you know. But the fans, oh, I got a black belt. You know, and we've seen that before. So I've been trying to focus on my classes with try to do the things that we've been missing, you know. And that's why during the course of competition season, we actually have competitive classes. That's why I do that, so that we can focus just on that kind of competition. When you combine the competitors too much with the non-competitors, it drives them both crazy. You know, the competitors like they're not good. The non-competitors go, oh, I never be as good as them. You know, so you pull them out to work the competition stuff. Then they can take regular classes, and it does bring up the level on those non-competitors. But when they're with them all the time, it drives them both nuts. So some dojos, I think in New York, they get to compete. That green belt when they start competing, you know, and then after that, they never keep the regulation. Competitors and parents get very entitled. So they're super annoying. Hey, not our people, other people. We make sure we keep beating them down so they're not annoying. But typically, we have people like that. Yeah, they're not here. So typically that's what happens, you know. And as Mr. Dart says, that white belt is worth more to him than sometimes it's competitors, because the white belt buying these for your friend, doing this, you know, all that stuff, you know, buying equipment, and competitors already got the stuff already. They bought it at some point, but they require some stuff. I like them both. I've been struggling to try to make sure the dojo is more family, you know, the competitors, the older students want to do stuff with dojo and not do this. And I love my daughter. My daughter was the worst of them all. She hated it. She was like, why does he get the night in front of me? He's, you know, I'm going to say rape, but he's horrible. Now I get my own show. The ego. I love her. She's great. But she's got to suck that up a few times. I got to have that argument with her a few times. I don't care. Nothing I can say to her.
It's kicking you.
I'm talking smack. I love my daughter. She's super awesome. But the woman, you know, and she knows what I'm talking about, complaining about someone lining up ahead of her, and they're not near as good as her. And I'm like, it doesn't matter, because in the dojo, everybody has volume, and your competition doesn't matter when it comes to that. And she, it was tough. It was tough. You know, she lucked out. Those people moved away, and she never had to suck it up too bad. She lucked out. All right, we're gonna try this one again. I talk to give everybody a little bit of a break. That's why I do that. All right, we're gonna try this one again. If you're at home, same thing. We're not gonna even go off the back one again. We're gonna do that maybe next week. So come on, hey, same thing. Front leg. Let's see. Yes. I try to get everybody gets a little something. Knee. Just take your time. There you go. Ah, there you go. See, you can lock that leg out. So, lift that knee up high. Nice, Mr. Neal. Now, there's something to be said. If you can't lift your knee up high, that's actually good. It's good for it. Is if you can't lift that knee up high, aim for something lower. So initially, we want to be able to get it, boom, waist high, right? But if you need to, aim it lower, but do the technique correctly. Coming in, boom, I'm down here. See it? Bring it back, and then there. As time goes on, when you get that down, like really good, at the knee level, like perfect technique, you're going to start being able to come up, 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 until eventually you're at least above your waist. And if you can, this might go for you, Mr. Meyer, you can start aiming for as higher than the waist, the head, if you can. So initially, when I started working side kick, yeah, that's what I had to do. Is I had to come in, I aimed below. See it? Make sure all my technique was good, and then I just sort of started the same thing with hook kick. You aim for the side, the shoulder, and eventually, not when we're old, because we're old, eventually when we're somewhat loosened up 3 hours into the class, we're able to get to the head. Because it takes a little longer to woo, stretch those legs out. All right, here we go. Done. Let's try it again. There you go. So same thing, like I say, so aim a little lower, Mr. Neal, and see if you can lock it out. Gee. Yes, now you're doing it, aiming lower. Boom, now lock that out. Right, lock that out. And then hold it. And then bring it back. So you can bring it back that knee up high. So you can start getting that balance. Gee. Better, that was better. Go. Oh, look at you trying to get the head. How come it's not to the head? I just messed it. Run. Yeah, we might need to, like I was saying earlier, last week, you might want to think about, if you're committed, you might want to think about going to get a nice sumategi, because they just sort of like hang on you. See, real quick, okay. Like, there's different fabrics, but like they're like this. See how they're stretchy? They're a little bit more lightweight. They're like pajamas. Which technically a gi is.
But you do have to be careful what underwear you wear.
I have like Superman underwear, Spider-Man. I got like this underwear like that. I
always forget until I
Guess I
get
gotta
here.
start wearing
It's all right. We don't need you going combat either. We got lots of stories about people doing that. All right, go. We digress. Roll. Better, not bad. You're in there. Maru. And this should be the good side. You're wondering, why didn't we do the good side in front of the camera? Why doesn't the bad side go towards the camera? Nice, yeah. You're all up there now. Very nice. Son. So lower it a little bit. Boom. So I can stick it and bring it back. Gee. Go. Roll. Stick it. I want to see it. Boom. Stick out. Roll. Yeah. You feel the difference? Teach. And down it. 30 seconds, get some water, come back, let's do some kata. None of us were ever class last night. The older kids too talking to the cameras, like did a really good job on those. I was happy about that. I was like,
Suddenly reminding him.
but at the same time, I had issues with my freaking internet. Not about yesterday, but the day before, the Wednesday, like my internet was so bad.
Well, last night he kept dropping.
I know, well, the Wednesday was even worse. It was horrible. And so I felt bad for my home because the internet was so bad. So it's coming when I need money. Huh? What?
Get into the dojo.
Yeah, but like I say, some of them they can't, it's not their fault. The kids want to be here. They want to be here, but the parents are like, no, we have to be here. So I get it. I don't like it. So it's not their fault. So I'm happy they're sticking with this tradition. So all right, here we go. Kata. Let's start with Mr. Meyer up front here. Mr. Neal, scoot over there. Everybody scoot up a little bit. Here we go. We're just gonna go briefly over hands shodan. Everybody should know it. I just want to check, see what you look like. Feels good? Right? And that's
And shodan.
Yours? Okay, and on my count the first time, if you get 10 to go through all these again, you'll do it on your own. come back. Nobody did it. Mr. Meyer, what's the first move? Pivot the foot. Did you pivot? After I said so, that nobody did it. Make that pivot its own move. So you don't want them to wait and so they can see. So they can see. You don't want them to be like, by itself. And now we're waiting for the next camera. But in your mind, make its own move. So one, boom, and then pop it up. So they see it. So eventually, it's all going to come at once. Because this move going to one side, going to the other side is like it's so many guys. So it's important to get it down now. Let's try it again. Ready? And when you step out, make sure you step out. The edges of your feet are straight. Your toes are slightly turned in. It's less to move when you pivot. And it looks better. There you go. Bring that front palm down just a little. There. Knees up. There you go. Nice. No, we're going to see one. All right. Make sure you pivot first. Good. And breathe, guys. You gotta do it. Bring that arm down, Mr. Neal. A little more. Good. That was good. Knees up. Now, remember, keeping your arms close to you. Arms here. Get your stance. Boom. And then do it. Stance, then hands right now. Okay? Yeah, you're going to go that way, but I did it this way so they can see you. All the way to the kick, put it down, all the way to the push, pull. Push up to the side. Don't push straight, just a little to the side. Boom, and then pull. All right? Here we go. All the way to the push, pull. Nice. Knee. Bring that back head down just a little bit. Now, when you're doing these, hit those hard, man. Hit those hard from here. Plant open, shoot up, get your steps, and hit that hard. So start getting your body used to going hard on those hands. Knee. And then step up, ki. It's Mortal Kombat move. Turn, make sure you push, pull again. Extend your hand out just a little bit, and in your mind, think about hitting with the blade edge of your hand. Bam! When you're doing it in your mind, when you actually do it, and hopefully that'll make it a little bit harder. And make sure you're breathing when you do that. Check your stance, Mr. Neal. There you go. Lean back. Nice. All right. There you go. Here, it should be right around here. When you come up too high, this is what happens. Here. Knee. There you go. Now, push, pull to the other end. Do it again, but. Okay, you're almost there. So what you're doing, turning, is you're going like this. Put it on this. So my body, you're like here. Going. I want to turn that over because again, that forces. I can go like this still, or here, and it forces. So you want to push it, pull, like stop. In the name of love. Good. There you go. See what you're used to now, it's high, right? Hey, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, you don't have to push hard, you just bring it back. And step over side. Bring that down. Here we go. Try to keep the wrist, the bicep engaged. It's not. Try to come back. Hey, no, you guys are good. Just go back there. There you go. Now with the side block, bring that down, Mr. Neal. Going those hips around, breathing, Mr. Meyer. Son, that's a ki. Oh no, I lied. It's okay. Next one's ki. Boom. I appreciate you guys listening. That's not like adults. Turn down lock. Rising lock. Knee. Other side. Knee. And now knee. There you go for hand showdown. Okay? And like I said, Mrs. Neal, we know you didn't know this happened. So coming from another dojo. Shotokan at that, another style, not just another dojo. So learning your brown belt material and these hand patterns. That's a feat. So don't be hard on yourself with that. You know, Tony, you got no excuse. All right, let's get okay. Come in. And the next one's gonna be hand side. And outside down. Going. There we go. And Nice. Bring that arm down. Bring it down. There. Look in here. Now look. Can you see yourself? Yeah. It was here. See the difference? That's to here. Okay, ready? Knees go bump up. Knee! There you go. Go there.
Are toes together or apart?
Toes are apart. The only one that's together is Yanda. Okay? And this is like that move, like boogie, boogie, boogie. That's what I was thinking about that. Remember that the 7, well, you were, well, maybe you were. 7.
He is a baby.
Remember that? Yeah. Disco. I was on the tail end of that. I was still young. I buy it, bring it again. I had bell bottoms and everything, man. I had stuff in those too. They try to bring They try to bring bell bottoms back, and there was a reason they went out of style. There you go. They went out of style because you'd be walking down the street and then fall all over you, so you should see curve. Knee, step poke. All the way through to the shikadach in the so boom, boom, all the way through to the shikadach in with the hammer fist. Ready? Wait, no, just go ahead. Okay, push your knees out or shikadach. Get down, get down. Knee, yeah. Step touch here. Bring it back. We're going to take a few minutes over today. Knee, because we don't have class anyway until like 11. On my house, still listening. Knee. Okay, check your shikadachas. Bring them down, get them down, get them down. Through. There you go. Yeah, take a moment when you do that, Mr. Myers, to wait, bring it through, and then just go. Just automatically. Okay, take a half second. More like a comma instead of a period. And pitch this other way. There you go. Hang on. Very nice. Excellent. Okay, Mr. Neal. So we got a half hour break, so I'm okay. I know these guys got to stay, so, because I got their kid here. Unless you're planning on going somewhere right after.
No, we're gonna go to sports.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do the next class.
Okay.
Or candy.
Well, if you're gonna do next class,
Take
then I'll
a
just come
time
up like
machine.
Yeah.
I rolled up the old sports card the other day. I was like, oh,
We were shutting down.
remember that.
Jack's been telling me, no, it just feels wrong. This isn't right. This isn't the right way. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure. And then he went to look it up. Told you. Been a while. So and I got to thinking, I'm like, is it right? And I'm trying to go through it in my head. I'm like, no, this is it. But it's hard because of all the kosopins and all those things. It's super hard. Ready? Right. And
Go down.
Go down.
go. And next week, maybe since you guys got this down, we'll start with Shio Kosopin. You can do it. It's easy one, but for many. Ready? And bring that hand down and punch right after. Knee, punch. And itch. So bring the feet together, toes apart. I'm going to say itch for the side by side. Itchy. Nice, nice. Toes down. There it is. Itch. Knee. Up. Knee. All the way through this. Step up, yes, now I should do. So bring that leg in a little bit. There you go. And this is the punch, right? Yeah. Punch. Now you lean back, shoulders down. There you go. Now from here, it's going to be that pivot. Make sure your foot touches as you're going through. You're going to touch your other foot. Shikadach, down block. Good. Turn those hips really hard. Turn your back foot straight. Focus on that to turn and have a good motodach for here. Again, there's the cheat. If you can't pull those hips as good as you need to, of stepping over with that left leg and then boom. But you got to end up in that motodach. Nice. That wasn't bad at all. Elbows back fist. Here.
Sure.
In motodach. Bring that back here, Mr. Bill. Bring it here. There you go. And spin. 1. So there you go. Double block, cross block into kozadach. Okay, it's important when you're going off of this is that you come in, you bring them in. Boom. Now, even though it looks like this, it's really, I like, Mr. Bernard likes to do it, and I like it too. It's 1, 2. So it's really sort of quick. It's boom, same time. So it's not necessarily the same time. X. Long boom. Long stand support arm. Bring that arm down, Mr. Bernard. Engage that wrist. Knee, right after. Boom. Come back, come back, come back. Make sure, you guys, when you engage, right after here, look at the arms come down. So don't just go like this. Whip it with your hips, throw it around, comes down, boom, here. So you can lock that out. Fist is ear level. There you go. So there you go. Fist ear level, you're getting it. And then breathe down. Okay, pull it up into itch. Pull that up. Into a sweet arch, toes apart. Spin, same thing. Left hand goes underneath, right hand on top. Boom, boom, here. There you go. Yeah, there it is. That was it. That was it. 45 degrees. And yummy. And ready. This is Mrs. Neal's saying for the next class. Then we'll go over your stuff. That's not bad. You guys look good. I ordered from for your belt, and I'm still waiting on them. So I don't know where it went, or maybe the package got sent to my sister's upstairs. She gets all the packages at the house. She orders constantly, because I'm waiting for it. They had an issue with the credit card stuff, not my credit card, but their system, and I haven't called them, but it should be in, so I have the belt. It should be, I don't know where it's at. So I'm sorry about that. I think it's they're updating their website, what's happening. So they had called me back, and I got so they should be here. But in the meantime, go ahead and do this. Now, Mrs. Neal doesn't want extra tapes to be put on her belt. The whole point of this black stripe, the whole point of the brown one is that getting taken off.
I don't know if I'm ready for a black stripe. Still.
No, you don't get, that's why you have sensei. That's why you get the sensei, you don't get sensei. When they start calling you Sensei Neal, or like the kids wants to call Shihan Neal, they do it. Shihan is a like master. There's like Yoshi, which is a sort of in English is sort of more like professor, and then there's Shihan, which is like the master. Like technically, when you go to yeah. Okay, yeah. Which could, if you want to go that feminist route, you could say that, even though it's not spelled with an I, because she, being the giver of life, giver of birth, therefore you are the giver of, of information and of making sense. It could, I can make a good one. I have a knack. Any karate person who's been doing this for years, we can turn everything that you say into a karate discipline. I've done that before. And I tested it one time, right? I was sitting eating lunch over the manager and the bees and all that. And then I'm like, really, give me any word. Any word, anything, whatever you got. And I'm turning it into a karate discipline, into how it relates to karate. It's like, if you ever watched my Greek wedding, yeah. Like everything goes back to Greece, like in that, and it did, I did give me that chair or something, the word chair. And I showed it, and it ended up being karate discipline. Right, I can turn it how it is karate. It's karate live. So they didn't believe it. They kept trying different things. Anybody who's doing this long, you can turn anything into karate. Because when you're talking to somebody, you sort of do it accidentally anyways. You're like, oh yeah, that's like a karate. You do it like this, and everything's like karate. So yeah, it was really funny because they were like, wow, you really did. Everything's a lesson. It was super funny. And they kept going at me, and they're like, that's how it works. It's just like my big fat Greek wedding. It all goes back to the Greeks. If you haven't seen that movie, it's pretty funny. You gotta watch it. All right, here we go. Okay? Good job. Great. Class isn't for another half hour, so I gotta remember that. Say that. Here. Let's see.
Say feel,
Feels.
feel sensei knee right.
Good job. Right.
Class dismissed.
Arigato. Good job. Hello, I'll be with you in just a moment. All right. All right, I'm going to end the stream now. So thank you for joining.